Hello, welcome to Steve McDonald's Arts and Crafts, and today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using this dryad mould. Thank you, Vivian, for sending me this one. And it's for hanging jewellery and also hanging earrings and different bits and pieces on. But I'm going to make it out of polyurethane resin because I believe and I know that polyurethane resin dries a lot harder or cures a lot harder than an epoxy resin. So this isn't going to bend and move around, but I'm going to cast it in one particular colour. I will link this in the description below, and the great news is I now have links for Australia and Canada as well as the United Kingdom and the USA, so all those links will be in the description below. So I've got my aluminium powder, and if you haven't got aluminium powder, then I will link some steel powder below because you get exactly the same result. What I do is I brush it on quite heavily onto the mould because I do find that actually it gives it a better result, and you do need to use slightly less of it mixed into the resin itself. And most silicone moulds will take this. If it won't kind of take it and it keeps kind of brushing off, just spray it with a little bit of mould release and it will stick to there lovely. I'm also doing the same with the base because it's really important to get that covered. I'd just like to say a quick thank you to all my members whose names are coming up now. If you'd like to become a member and benefit from any of the perks, the links for that is in the description below. I'm mixing in some black pigment powder. You can use black mica powder if you want to, because it gives it a little bit more depth. And now I'm adding a real nice dollop of the aluminium powder, stirring that in. Make sure you stir it in really, really well so it's not got clumps or it's sunk to the bottom. I'm filling up the base. Now I'm filling this up right to the top to ensure that I don't have the holes penetrating all the way through. I just want to say thanks as well to everyone that bought me a coffee last month, whose names are coming up now. Anybody buying me a coffee this month, then it will help towards my new roof because it got ripped off my resin studio when we had some bad winds. So filling this up, again, this will self-level, so it's quite easy, but I did overpour it. I'm scraping some of this off so it's easier to tidy up, going over it with my long neck lighter and letting it cure. This is all cured up now, and because I've used PU resin or polyurethane resin, this should be nice and hard, and it's not going to go anywhere. Now, I like the look of that even before we give it the polish, but we will give it the polish because I think that is what's going to set this apart. And the great thing is, don't forget with polyurethane resin, that it cures up within normally an hour. Some of them do it a lot quicker. Some of the ones in America, they cure up within 15 minutes, but it does mean you get a really short pot time with them, so you've got to work quick. You've got to be quick in your working, people, because if not, it'll just cure up in the pot. But it's great because you can produce so much in a day. Oh, that's come out really, really pretty. Now, it has got a few bits of where I overpour, and I always overpour rather than underpour. So I'm just going to take that off with my burring tool that I've now got really quite adept at using. And the whole point is take off the really thin bits at a time rather than try and take off large chunks, because that way you'll get a great result from it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Clean all this up using this burring tool, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what I'm going to do next with it. Well, that's cleaned up lovely, and I think it's come out beautiful. But what we need to do to finish this off and to give it its real sparkle is to go over it with the wire wool, and that will bring out that beautiful aluminium. Now, I can't see when I go on to some of the sites to link these aluminium powder, but I do find steel powder. So where I can't find the aluminium powder, I'll link steel powder below, and that will work just as well, to be honest. Give you such a really great result. So that's now come out lovely, and this is the bit that I'm really looking forward to seeing how well it comes out. It just makes such a big difference. And the great thing about using PU resin, as always, is its strength. You know, this will not bend if it gets warm, which can happen with thinner pieces of epoxy resin. And that has come out, I just think that's magnificent, to be honest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some E6000 glue and glue this into there so it's nice and sturdy, and then I'll show you what it looks like once it's completely glued up and finished. Well, there we go. That's all now sorted out and it's glued together lovely. I love how this has come out. I think doing it in the metal look really gives it a bit of class, and it's easy to pop your stuff on it. The holes are all there ready. And as you can see, I've put some of the earrings on there, the skeleton ones. Ooh! One of my shaker key rings that I made quite a long time ago, and this little set of earrings as well. So if you want to know how I do those, they'll be in my jewellery playlist. I hope you've enjoyed this. Nice, simple, easy project to do. Cold casting is, for me, definitely the up-and-coming thing for the crafter. Don't forget, if you'd like to buy me a coffee, the link for that is in the description below. All the links for Australia, Canada, the USA and the UK can be found in the description below as well. Take care, enjoy your resin. Bye.